Alright y'all, I'm finally back with another video, and today I have a highly requested upload for you guys, and that's what I think are some of the best badges in the game, and show you guys which ones I use and why. Now I know I've been going for a minute, okay, but let's aim for 100 likes on this video, and if we can get 50 in 24 hours, we can just get 50 in 24 hours, I'll upload again tomorrow at the same exact time I did today, okay? And like I always say, man, I know I'm gonna get the 50 views, so why not drop that like? Alright, now I'm going to be showing y'all my build and also my stats, so you can kind of get the idea of why I chose these badges and why I use the ones that I do. Also, I know a lot of you guys that are subscribed to me did make the same build as me, so just right here, just to show you guys why I didn't do the playmaking shot creator or why it didn't turn out like that. In the beginning, before the game drop, I didn't want it to say playmaking. Honestly, probably didn't matter. I would probably change that, but one thing I do like the fact that I did was I put up interior defense. And if you go back and check on like my first demo video when I made this build, I did that because I knew people eventually were going to start ISOing like they did last year and rim running, and as we know, that's like the biggest thing right now, so that definitely does help me out a lot. But on to the badges, okay? We're gonna go with finishing first. Now, first and foremost, my favorite, most important finishing badge on my build is fancy footwork. This is obviously probably number 1 or 2 best finishing badges in the game to me. As you guys can see, I made like a whole video about just this badge alone. That's how much I really mess with this badge. And I mean, the proof is in the pudding in the clips. Now, one thing I do want to tell you guys is that I know hop stepping is like the most popular move with finishing at the rim or just fancy footwork, but just like last year, I love to do spin layups and dunks. Them hoes go crazy. Like, you can say you're attacking the rim and you got somebody touching you with a little bit of contact. If you choose to spin off of them with fancy footwork and another badge I'm gonna talk about in a second, your player will just like spin directly off of the contact and to the rim. It's super lit and it's very effective because sometimes hop stepping is like very predictable. I'll put it like that. Now, the next finishing badge I do want to talk about is one that it doesn't really show up when you're actually playing, but trust me, it works because I've used it, or I've done these same moves with and without this badge, and you do get different results, and that's slithery finisher. Now, I only use it on silver because I don't really have that many finishing badges, but basically what this badge does is just like when you attack the rim, your player during gathers and in the air when he's attacking the rim, he'll just avoid contact. And okay, now some of these clips I couldn't really tell if he was doing it because I had it on or without it, but there are a few, like this one per se, where I'm sliding like in between 2 people and it's actually working, that I knew that it was only happening or working like that because I had the badge on. Because there are some times when you try to do spin layups and dunks and stuff like that, you just bump right into your defender. Like right here, I probably would have without this badge, and then not even score. You know, your player just flails his arms up and then he just loses the ball. A lot of times that's what happens without this badge. So this is definitely one of my favorite badges in the game, and that's why I combo this and fancy footwork together. It's deadly. So look at that clip right there. Like, you can't tell me anybody else without that badge want to just drop the ball on their feet. Okay, so that's why I use those 2. For my third finishing badge, I was pretty much trying out a lot of stuff, but I'm not sure what it is. The layups are kind of broken for short guards, so I use consistent finisher just for like bad layup timings like that when I'm not expecting an animation. And sometimes it gives you like a little boost because sometimes the game be tripping and like you'll be open but you'll miss it, I guess because of the timing, but I'm not sure. Now for the shooting, these 4 that are Hall of Fame to me are like necessities just for my play style. You can change these are, you know, up to you. For me personally, I love quick draw Hall of Fame. Range extender has to be Hall of Fame for me. I do take a lot of those like very, very deep shots, and I don't have the sharp takeover. I have the shot creating one, so that actually works to my advantage. I can time shots from half court if need be, but those 4 are necessities for me to be on Hall of Fame. That might change for you. The only one that I really recommend, or like 2 I recommend Hall of Fame for sure, is Green Machine and Range Extender. I know a lot of people don't use difficult shots anymore. I take a lot of moving shots. That's just a part of my play style, as you guys can see, and as most of you should know from watching me on 19. And then quick draw is like, that's your preference. Me personally, I like the fastest release, so that's why I'll go with the quick draw Hall of Fame. Plus my player's not 6'4", I'm 6'5", so just to compete, I want the fastest speed, and it still won't be as fast as like a 6'4" guard. But to explain why I use corner specialist and difficult shots Hall of Fame. Not sure if you guys have seen it, but 2K Labs actually dropped a video on corner specialist, and they explain how it's best somehow, some way it works best on silver, which is crazy to me. So I do a lot of step backs and corners, and that's pretty much where I take most of my fades from in twos, or just, it doesn't matter what gameplay or whatever game mode I'm playing. So I use that. Now I used to use catch and shoot, but I don't use that anymore. I only use it in rec because normally I play the 2 in rec, but now I use clutch and shooter in park. Now this badge is so good, I actually might have to make a separate video on it just to show you guys how like OP it is. So you see in this gameplay right here, I'm down 17-11. If you look at the top right, you're gonna see clutch shooter comes on after every shot I take until we make this comeback. Now one thing that you do have to pay attention to is that when you're in the lead, this badge doesn't come on until you have 15 points. But and then after that, you have to be within, I think you have to be within 3 points for it to be activated when you're winning the game. But if you're losing, like in this instance 17-11, it's gonna work every shot I take. So when you're ahead, it's not super OP to where it just works no matter what, even when it's not even a close game. It doesn't work like that. You actually have to be behind, or you actually have to be like the game has to be close. So but as you guys can see, after every shot I take, you're gonna see that badge come up on the top right, okay? And also you see that corner specialist, like I was talking about, taking those fades. So I got those 2 badges working together, and I ended up winning that game. Now you can say that just me knowing my shot, but I know for a fact clutch shooter does give a significant boost if you actually read it. And lastly, I've been using Hot Zone Hunter, but normally I just put it on silver. And let me show y'all something real quick. This is why you don't need Deadeye. Now all these clips you're seeing right here, these shots I'm taking, you can say they're bad shots or whatnot, but I green them, okay? And that's without Deadeye. So I'm telling you right now, you don't need Deadeye, but I have experimented with it just a little bit, and I do see how it could be effective, because some of these closeouts, like I wouldn't even do that animation. I would just shoot it normally as if nobody's there. So Deadeye is up to you, but me personally, I'm still just going with the Hot Zone Hunter because I know my shot well enough to green even when it's slightly contested. But I can understand you using Deadeye now. In the beginning, I didn't get it at all, and I thought it was stupid. But that's pretty much what I like to use for my shooting badges. Now, playmaking. First things first, quick first step has to be Hall of Fame. You just get boosts, and you can like launch out of triple step moves like I did last year. That's why I rock with that one so hard. Now, tight handles. In the beginning, I was skeptical. That is definitely a must. I had some clips of like, I'm gonna have to make a separate video for that, but I had plenty of clips showing why tight handles was like super good and important to me, and I lost it. Now, unpluckable, I'm only using bronze because I've used this badge on every single level and I've gotten ripped. Like this shit just does not matter, so I quit. I don't care. I'm using it on bronze. I got ripped one game by a dude with no pickpocket and a 38 steal 3 times with unpluckable on gold. So it's just RNG at this point. Now, Space Creator. This is probably my favorite badge in the game, and that's why I have a Hall of Fame for those of you asking. When you do step backs, I think snatchbacks too, but especially step backs and spin jumpers, you will break ankles without ankle breaker. So for those of you wondering why I'm not using ankle breaker or why I'm using this Hall of Fame, look what I'm doing to defenders, bruh. Like this badge is so OP. You're literally like, I'm breaking ankles without ankle breaker. Now I'm not sure if this works if you have a low ball control still. I think it probably still does, but I don't know. And that's also with no takeover, because shot creator takeover will break people off as well, even if you don't do some of these moves. Like, actually, nah, it's cap. You got to do these moves, but shot creator takeover will definitely help you break people off as well. But Space Creator Hall of Fame is the way to go. And I got this clip right here. I'm not sure if that's Space Creator or not, but I just want to put that in there for anybody who can answer that question, because as you can see, I'm not using ankle breaker, so it's got to be Space Creator, right? That just did that. All right, who knows? Now, last but not least, my defensive badges only get 5 upgrades, so I just use clamps on gold, and I like to use Tireless Defender. Now that's just because, like I said, man, a lot of people be trying to ISO, and even though you want to keep your finger off turbo, sometimes you need it to keep up. And I have a 71 block, so a lot of times when people ISO me, and if they do get past me, I have enough stamina with my Gatorade boost to chase you down and block you, and plus I have a decent interior defense. But other than that, if I'm not really getting ISO'd or I'm not really feeling like I need it, I'll put on Pick Dodger, Silver. I was using Intimidator for a while, but I was still getting punished with that badge on. And then Interceptor, and when I play Rec, I put that on Silver normally, because if you don't, you have bricks for hands. So, but most of the time, you see me in the park, I got Tireless Defender on, so we can do that ISO thing all day. All right, I'm a D up. But that's pretty much it for my badges. That's everything I use. Okay, so look, man, if y'all want, or if y'all have any more questions, let me know down below. Yes, guys, I am back. Sorry for not uploading. And like I said, man, we get 50 likes on this video in 24 hours. I'll drop another one. All right, it's already ready. I already got it in the tuck, so it's up to y'all if I'm gonna drop it or not. Just letting y'all know. All right, I'll see y'all in the next one. And yes, I'm back for real, and I'm not leaving, no matter how much I don't like this game.